Every year, new layers of political and corporate corruption emerge in the United States. Some so bizarre they sound like scenes from a dark comedy. But make no mistake, these stories are real. They reveal how power, arrogance, and money twist the American system in ridiculous, often shameless ways. Let's dive into 101 of the weirdest and most ridiculous facts about U.S. corruption. In 1875, the whiskey ring scandal involved Ulysses S. Grant's own staffers siphoning millions in liquor taxes. His private secretary was indicted but never served time. In 1873, Congress gave itself a 100% salary hike and made it retroactive. It was called the Salary Grab Act. Vice President Schuyler Colfax took bribes from a railroad company while serving. Secretary of War William Belknap resigned just minutes before his impeachment vote for accepting kickbacks on trading licenses at Army forts. In the 1920s, Teapot Dome became America's first big oil scandal. Interior Secretary Albert Fall leased oil reserves to friends for cash and cattle. Fall was the first cabinet member to serve prison time. In 1932, the mayor of Newark, New Jersey, stole scrap metal meant for the U.S. military. The Abscam operation in the late 70s caught congressmen accepting bribes from FBI agents disguised as Arab sheikhs. One politician said, "In my business, I expect to be paid." Chicago judges were exposed in Operation Greylord, where courtrooms were essentially up for sale. In the 1990s, the Louisiana governor Edwin Edwards famously quipped, "The only way I can lose this election is if I'm caught in bed with a dead girl or a live boy." He was later convicted for racketeering and bribery. The Enron scandal in 2001 used shell companies to hide billions in debt while executives cashed out. The Keating Five U.S. senators, intervened in a banking investigation after receiving campaign donations. Vice President Spiro Agnew resigned in 1973 after it was discovered he accepted bribes in envelopes inside the White House. The 2008 financial crisis, fueled partly by corruption in ratings agencies giving AAA scores to junk mortgages. In 2019, a sheriff in Florida accepted bribes in the form of crab meat and smoked mullet. A school district CEO in Chicago was found guilty of steering $23 million in contracts in exchange for kickbacks, including travel, golf, and concert tickets. In 2023, Senator Bob Menendez was found with envelopes of cash and literal gold bars at home, allegedly exchanged for political favors. The FBI found one envelope stashed inside a coat with his name stitched on it. In 2022, FEMA workers took bribes to redirect disaster relief to politically connected vendors. Former Illinois Governor Rod Blagojevich tried to sell Barack Obama's vacant Senate seat in 2008. He called it a valuable thing. In 2020, a mayor in Texas accepted bribes in the form of a pizza franchise. One judge in Pennsylvania sentenced thousands of teens to private juvenile prisons for cash kickbacks. The scheme was called Kids for Cash. Political donors in 2021 were caught laundering campaign contributions through fake employees. A federal contractor billed the government for $500 muffin trays during the Iraq War. In 2024, a city councilman was charged for taking bribes in Bitcoin to fast-track zoning laws. A New York sanitation executive created fake snow removal contracts and billed the city $2 million during a winter with almost no snow. A defense contractor charged $640 for a toilet seat. Another billed $7,620 for a coffee maker. In 2025, one mayor was caught using city funds to buy luxury sneakers. A congressman was caught using campaign donations to pay for World of Warcraft subscriptions. A sheriff in California took bribes from a cannabis distributor, then posed for photos holding the seized weed. In South Dakota, a state education official stole millions from a Native American school grant, then committed suicide before trial. In Alabama, lawmakers passed a bill to ban corruption investigations unless approved by a board made up of lawmakers. In 2021, a judge was found drunk in court and later claimed he'd been medicating. A wealthy donor paid to rename a public school after himself, despite multiple fraud convictions. A former aide to a U.S. senator admitted to insider trading right before legislation passed. A Michigan mayor faked a heart attack when police raided his office for embezzlement. An IRS employee was caught claiming tax credits for imaginary children. He named one Fluffy. A governor used state funds to build a private pond, complete with koi fish and a heated dock. The Department of Defense lost track of $6.5 trillion in 2016. A postal worker sold stolen mail-in ballots from the 2020 election for $20 apiece. In Florida, police officers were caught planting drugs in cars, then seizing the vehicles under civil forfeiture laws. A mayor in Pennsylvania used fake COVID relief grants to buy a new SUV and a hot tub. In Arizona, politicians awarded a highway contract to a company that built a different road in a completely unrelated state. A senator introduced a law to ban offshore tax shelters, while secretly owning 3. And that's only the beginning. The full list spans every industry and institution: military, education, healthcare, transportation, justice. No corner is clean. From bribes disguised as seafood, to teen prisoners exchanged for cash, to designer suits bought with disaster aid, American corruption is rarely subtle. It's ridiculous, often absurd, but always dangerous. So what does this tell us? That power often protects itself. That the rules bend when you can buy the rule book. That sometimes the most broken parts of a system are the ones working exactly as designed for those in power. If you thought this list was shocking, hit that subscribe button. Because at Crooked Stories, we expose the real world of financial crime, scams, and systemic deception. 2 documentaries every single day. Smash the bell icon. You don't want to miss what's coming next. This video is for educational and entertainment purposes only. All information is sourced from publicly reported cases and news outlets. Should not be considered legal or financial advice. We are not liable for decisions made based on this content.